Hello and welcome to today's edition of Global Pulse. The world's gearing up for the next chapter of the Modi-Trump bromance as Prime Minister Narendra Modi lands in Washington, D.C. tonight to meet US President Donald Trump at the White House. The Economist asks, is MAGA actually great for India? The view from over here in India looks rosy, and The Economist agrees. America is betting on India's inexorable rise, the story says. There are typical tensions, of course, from trade to illegal immigration. Trump 2.0's triumphalist America First agenda could lead to new flare-ups when it comes to defensive technology deals too. But The Economist reminds its readers that the Indo-US relationship rests on a bipartisan article of faith. Both need each other to hedge against China, the story says. A rise in tensions between India and China pushed India further into Uncle Sam's arms, the story says. And Trump's the kind of leader who is uninterested in imparting the liberal lessons on human rights that have long exasperated India's elites, according to the story. Yet, America's hyper-assertive nationalism and desire to draw economic activity within its borders could create stresses with India, which views itself as a wholly independent actor rather than a partially subordinate ally, and which is keen to build up its own manufacturing base, the story says, before unpacking its predictions on trade, migration, defense, manufacturing, and tech. Trump may lose patience with India's multi-alignment, and his techno-nationalism could come into conflict with India's ultimate ambition to become a major tech player in its own right, The Economist says. India's best hope is to argue that its homegrown tech offerings augment American power. Its cheap payment and identification systems could offer alternatives to Chinese models to countries elsewhere in the global south, and without competing with upscale American ones, the analysis says. For years, skeptical American analysts have asked what their government gains from working with a sometimes prickly India, asking if the India bet will pay off. The rollercoaster ride of a second Trump term may lead more Americans to ask the same question about America, The Economist ends. Meanwhile, the Wall Street Journal reports that India has a caste system even for its drivers. Driving in New Delhi can be chaotic, but adding to the madness is an unusual caste system that gives unofficial preference to some less than essential workers. Lawyers, government officials, journalists, and even retired military officers are among a set of professionals who adorn their private vehicles with decals to publicize their occupations and the special status they say it confers, the report says. There are generally no laws that give preference to drivers with certain professions, except perhaps doctors, and some states have banned stickers on private vehicles. But the popularity of stickers and the deference the Wall Street Journal says they inspire is partly a reflection of India's long-standing caste system, the report alleges. It goes on to say that the educated class want to flaunt their status in the social hierarchy through these stickers. It's a strong statement from the Wall Street Journal, but the report points out that many states like Punjab and Haryana and even Tamil Nadu have actually banned the use of unauthorized emblems and stickers on cars. The police said that the most concerning stickers identified an affiliation with the press, the state or city government, the state-owned power company, or the police, the report says. Many people are now modifying their private vehicles to boost the air of authority, according to the report. That hunger for respect on the roads has been turbocharged by the newly wealthy, who yearn for symbols to flaunt their riches and boost their status, reports the Wall Street Journal. Many have learned they can climb the pecking order of Delhi traffic by buying bigger, fancier, and more expensive vehicles. And it looks like people are settling to buy stickers that say Government of India or a job like cop, lawyer, or journalist. The nouveau riche, especially, have taken to decorating their cars with police sirens and flashing lights. It gives them a free pass on the roads of India, according to the report. The Chinese Global Times also adds its 2 cents to the Paris Artificial Intelligence Action Summit. China has always participated in global cooperation and governance on AI with a highly responsible attitude, says its report on how world leaders sought common ground at the summit. Modi and French President Emmanuel Macron co-hosted the summit, while the Chinese Vice Premier of the State Council attended as President Xi Jinping's representative. China, France, Germany, and India were among the 61 signatories who agreed it is a priority that AI is open, inclusive, transparent, ethical, safe, secure, and trustworthy, taking into account international frameworks for all. Hegemony remains the biggest obstacle in the development of AI, Global Times reports. Such cooperation is currently being blocked and separated due to this hegemonic mindset. It also quotes experts as saying, Chinese technology should be treated fairly and objectively. Accusations that attempt to smear the Chinese tech company, presumably referring to global reactions to DeepSeek, stem from biased attitudes towards China's development, writes the Global Times. This is Vandana Menon, and thank you for watching The Print.